James here from the Gator Nation Football Podcast, bringing you a film breakdown of Florida's offense versus Arkansas. What a record-setting day it was. As always, if you like the content, like this video, subscribe to this channel, check us out on social media, drop us a dono on Patreon, and listen to the podcast where each and every Monday we break down the Florida Gators. Lots to talk about in this one. Kyle Trask, Emory Jones, play design, how Arkansas was defending us. Let's take a look. In the game, we said that Florida needed to be able to successfully identify the coverage, throw into windows, run high-low plays, coverage beaters, make some tight throws, and then in reality, hold up at the point of attack so that we can make throws into those windows. And if those things happened, given Trask's ability to read the field, we thought we could have a huge day both passing and running the football. We thought Arkansas was not in a good place to match up with their static zone style versus our offensive style. And a static zone is going to be one that stays consistent. So if they drop into a cover 4, which they're going to in the first play we look at here, there's a corner that you can't see with Florida's wide receiver here. If they drop into a cover 4, you're going to have a bail, a safety here that you can't see bailing, a safety here that you can't see bailing, and then he's going to bail. That's a cover 4. So in a static defense, that's never going to change. It's not going to be a pattern match where maybe occasionally this guy comes down and plays man, or they pass off different routes over here. That's never going to happen. And for plenty of quarterbacks in college football, they'll struggle to beat post-snap shifts. All this stuff happens after the snap, and they'll really struggle. Obviously, Kyle Trask excels tremendously at that. We've said on the podcast now, really since his first game in a Gator uniform, where he got playing time, that he is extremely good at identifying post-snap coverages in general. He's very comfortable throwing to windows. So for the very first play of the game, Florida is going to come out. We're going to have a deep hitch here that you can't see. They're going to have a cover 4 defender that's going to bail off your screen. We're going to send Tony on a hitch here to sit in this window. This safety is going to be bailing off the screen that you can't see. Again, bail off the screen here and bail off here. So we watch the play. Trask immediately does what all good quarterbacks do. He's reading the field. Again, this is such a high level of reading. He's going to take a look at the right side. Doesn't see anything he likes. Move around to the middle. Watch his eyes. He was there. Now he's here. Now he's going to work his way back around to Tony, who's going to be sitting right in that zone window, make a nice, hard, confident throw right on time. Here comes the safety that had sank back into cover 4. Here's our deeper hitch route that's behind him. Underneath defender, corner that you can't see off the screen. That is a perfect play. One more time. You have your zone linebacker sitting here. You have your other underneath linebacker sitting a little further than this box that you see. You've got a corner that's behind him covering our other receiver. This is the window. Throws a strike. Did this all game. We're not going to show you all the window throws that Trask made. But that's how Florida comes out. Good scouting, good preparation, good understanding of how Arkansas likes to play. We said they like to play cover 3 primarily, and they also like cover 4 and cover 1. That's primarily what Florida saw in this game, and Florida took advantage of all of those defenses, but right out of the gate, showing a good recognition and understanding of what they're going to be facing from Arkansas. We said leading into the game that Florida should be able to run against Arkansas's defense. If you're going to play a 3-2-6, 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then 6 defensive backs, you're going to be undersized. You're also going to be off the line of scrimmage, as Arkansas likes to play. They want to make you drive. They want to keep things in front of them. So if you want to keep things in front, there you go. That's not front, but pretend it is. If you want to keep things in front of you, then you're going to wind up being conservative, bend but don't break defense, rely on stopping teams in the red zone. Florida with a really excellent counter, and not surprising, we're good at these bunch sets. If Florida lines up in a bunch, we can have these 3 receivers block. And since you've been watching these film studies by now, you should know to count the numbers. Florida's going to have 9 in the box. Take out Trask, and we have 8, right? Take out Trask, we have 8. And then on top of that, you got your running back, and you've got a receiver. No one else here left. Meanwhile, they only have 3, 5, 6, 7 anywhere near the ball. So Florida's +1. Florida's +1. We can also dictate what side we're going to. Arkansas has a lot of guys off the ball that are not going to make an impact on this play. It's precisely what's going to happen here. Florida runs this play to the left, and look at what's happened because we're so positive in the blocking game. Here, and here is locked up. Great sign in the running game. If we can hold all these blocks, a chance for a home run play. We do, in fact, hold most of them. That's going to wind up being an easy gain. Again, easy gain. This all happens because Arkansas wants to play conservative. They're going to give Florida these plays. We should take them. Florida did a nice job in this game taking the easy runs when they should. If Arkansas is not going to walk up when Florida comes up in a bunch set because they're afraid of getting beat deep, then you take 7 and 8 yard gains all day long. Of course, leading into the game, we said Arkansas was willing to trade touchdowns for time. They did that on the opening drive. The opening drive was slow and methodical, of course, as the game went on. That was no longer true, but that was Arkansas's game plan. Make Florida score in 7 or 8 minutes, potentially hold them to a field goal by essentially allowing them to run in sets like this. They don't want to come up because they don't want Trask to beat them for one play touchdowns. Florida ran a perplexing amount of east-west plays, which was quite surprising when you're facing a dime defense. You have quick athletes that are good typically at tackling in space. They're not so good against power running teams or in between the tackles, but they're comfortable playing out here. One of the benefits of running a 3-2-6 defense is you're always going to have an advantage in the passing game. If you want, you can play +1. You can play +1 on either side, +1 on this side, so you can make it 4 versus 3, or you can play 2-on-1 on this side too. It doesn't matter what the offense does. You can always have an extra pass defender over the receivers. Of course, that leaves you weaker in the run game, but in this particular play, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Florida to run screens, especially to Tony. Teams are extremely well prepared for Tony. As we go through this film study, you're going to see that most of our touchdowns actually came from using Tony as a decoy. We talked in the podcast about Tony embracing and being comfortable with the fact that if teams are going to double him, he's going to allow his teammates to thrive, and being excited by the fact that he is capable of doing that because teams are spending a lot of time prepping for him. Arkansas was no different. This is going to be an east-west screen. Now, pre-snap, in fairness to Florida, this looks pretty good. In pre-snap, this looks pretty good. This defender has got to help in the run. He's a linebacker. If we do a little play action here, he's not going to be able to get out here in time, which means that we are essentially 3-on-3. And Arkansas, like we've talked about, is not up here challenging an east-west play. However, Arkansas is really just bluffing. Notice what happens as soon as this ball here is faked. We've already come down to collapse them. We're playing aggressively. And as soon as Tony bounces back, we're selling out to get to Tony. Now, we missed this block here. We missed this block, which is going to hurt. But even if we do get that block, Arkansas has quickly closed this gap. Of course, Tony is capable of heroics. Not a lot's going to happen there. Again, this is great prep by Arkansas. Teams are going to continue to prep like this. Florida does take advantage of this later. So this was not wasted. Although I don't like these play calls, it didn't make sense to me why we were doing them, given I think that there were so many other things we could have done. The one thing about Dan Mullen that's continually true, especially when Florida stays aggressive throughout games, is he will always use plays early on that didn't work against teams later. And that obviously has a lot to do with game theory and the concept of leveling. If Dan Mullen knows what you want to do and you know what Dan wants to do, and he's able to stay one step ahead of you by guessing what you're going to do and then countering later, then he's going to win that battle. And as we're going to see, he did win that battle later significantly on multiple occasions using fake screens. But you also didn't have to run these screens early on either. So we're not going to get too nitty-gritty with that. Of course, the point of this podcast and these film breakdowns is to strive for perfection, which any coach would do. You never just say, hey, we've become good enough, let's just rest on our laurels. Also, no coach is going to play a perfect game. And so as you're watching these film studies, keep that in mind. These are not critiques to where it's like, hey, if someone else was coaching, then we would do everything right. That's not true. But you want to see what we see from Dan Mullen's offenses. You want to use your bad plays and make them future good plays, especially if teams are really trying to stop a concept. And Arkansas does stop this concept again very well, but we're going to see Florida take advantage of this later. 3rd and 2 for Florida. First drive, we've been grinding it out, trying to make some conversions. Nothing has come too easy. We've already sucked up on the clock here 5+ minutes. So crucial 3rd down early. You want to set the tone. Arkansas, not surprisingly, staying in their dime. If you listen to the pod or you had checked out our preview, you would know that they're going to play dime almost every snap, regardless of the situation. Florida could have done a lot of things here, and we're going to choose to do, again, I think one of the more confusing things, but here's why. Pre-snap, we're 3-on-3. We're 3-on-3. This is a good situation to be able to run a screen. 3-on-3 should be a win for you because you're going to block the 2 guys that you want, whoever that may be, and you're going to leave 1 free defender, 1-on-1 versus your athlete. So there's nothing wrong with this concept, especially on paper. Ball snap to go to Tony. We get a nice block from Grimes here. We also get a nice engagement from Arkansas's corner. Nice strong engagement. Nice strong engagement here. And then Tony tries to cut back. Arkansas has nice pursuit lane. He almost gets this first down. So this play is moderately successful. You're certainly hoping for more. What would I like to see Florida do if we're going to keep throwing screens to Tony especially is push this further out to the boundary. Increase these splits. Start them here and not here. And here's the reason why. If we push these guys further to the boundary and create a wider split, that's going to put more pressure on the defender who's in conflict. Right now, this defender is either going to help here or he's going to play in the run. Same thing with this defender. So you got a DB here and a linebacker here, and both of them are in conflict. So if we push the boundary here, we're going to make this DB make a decision. Does he move over here to clearly indicate that he's going to wind up playing 3-on-3 against this passing formation? Or does he stay in here? If he stays in here, then we can run a whole lot of concepts. Now you can talk about running a go, and a wheel behind because he can't cover any of those routes. So by increasing our spacing, we infinitely increase our options. We also increase our clarity for Trask, and we force the linebacker to make a decision too. Is he going to slide over and now cover this gap if he pushes here? What happens? So increase the leverage with your spacing to make this play more successful. So we've gotten several plays into the game. We now know that Arkansas is heavily favoring their defense on Tony. And we can't see this here, but we have a receiver in front of him. So we're in a stack set here. There is a receiver off the screen that you can't see. That's going to be Pierce down at the bottom of your screen. DB, DB, DB on this side of your screen here. And here we're 2x2. 2x2. Now this is a good look for the play we're going to run here. It's a perfect look. And this is all going to be created because the defense is focusing on Tony, and I want you to focus on the safety. Focus on the center safety here. This is going to show you what Arkansas is doing. You can't see this safety off screen. He's now moved over here. But what happens on the snap, look, it doesn't matter. Look at where the safety is shaded. He's shaded here. They want to help on Tony. They don't want Tony to get this screen. Here is Tony popping back for a screen. But now we're 2-on-2. But we're not really 2-on-2 because Arkansas's defense is shaded this way. Now, we've talked about our own defensive breakdown. If you're going to get risky with the numbers, don't play football down numbers. You got to give something up. Arkansas was willing to give up Florida attacking the non-Tony side of the field. They were going to pay a ton of attention to Tony. That was their game plan coming out. They were going to make Florida beat them with other players. Perfectly and totally reasonable strategy. Florida had to prove they could make them pay. This is an excellent, excellent play design by Dan Mullen. Watch as this unravels here. Here's Gamble. We got a block here. And now we have two linemen coming out. And this is a good situation, right? When you're coming out and you're Heggie and you can't see anyone to block, you've got something good going on here. Now all we need is Delance to come up here and get a block on his man. It's going to be a walk-in touchdown. And that's exactly what happens. Exactly what happens. Excellent play design by Dan Mullen, using the fact, hey, I know if they want to come over Tony, they want to put 4 here on the Tony side, they want to put their linebacker on the Tony side, they want to not allow anyone to get the ball on the Tony side, great. We'll play 2-on-2 here all day long, and it's really, again, not 2-on-2 because we're putting our linemen out here, and now, in fact, it's 4 for Florida on 2 for Arkansas. Easy touchdown. That's how Florida's won pre-snap. There was no doubt that Dan Mullen knew this was a touchdown. They're on the headset. They're talking to each other, and they're saying this is going to be a touchdown. This is a look that Florida won. Great job, great progressive play calling, good example of leveling when it comes to the concept of game theory and earning yourself a touchdown after a long drive that burned a whole lot of clock. We've talked a lot about the play 4 verticals, and now it's a cover 3 beater. We also talked about in our offensive preview against Arkansas, a team that plays so much zone that you want to throw the ball in between zones. So if we can imagine that these two guys, just to make things really simple, let's say these two guys are going to play a zone. Their zone is going to be, this is like the line where they're going to trade off, right? So if the receiver crosses over here, this guy lets it go. And if his receiver crosses over here, he lets it go on this line. That's the line you want to attack. You want to attack the weakest part of the zone, and it's where those zones meet each other. It's where your property line meets your neighbor's line. That's the confusion line or the gray area, and 4 verticals is built to attack this. There's a receiver at the bottom of the screen that you can't see with a defender. So Florida has 5 receivers, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 receivers, and we are going to run 4 verticals. Arkansas is going to play cover 3. We've seen 4 verticals work against cover 3 before in our film studies. It's going to work again here. If you had the all-22, you could really see what's happening. Thankfully, they will give us the end zone camera, which will show us. But what's important for you to take home here, underneath defender that jumps up for the ball, doesn't get it. Here's the 2 guys we talked about doing their jobs. This is the weak part of the zone. That is why you run 4 verticals, is if you have a cover 3 where you have 3 deep, they're going to split the field in thirds, and these are the weak spots. Where you see these squiggly lines, you're going to run 4 verticals. 3 guys cannot cover 4 deep routes. It's absolutely impossible, but you do need a quarterback who can move the safety to the side he doesn't want to throw the ball to. That's the secret for 4 verticals. If you just stare at the seam route you want to throw, a good safety will take that away. You need to move the safety, create the space here to complete this pass, which Trask obviously does. He excels at this. Right on time, right in stride, perfect precision. Huge gain from Florida to Zipper. Had a really, really nice game, proving that Florida with a quarterback like Trask, and that's what quarterbacks do, right? They can throw the ball to anyone. So much of this is scheme, especially against a team that's not going to play a lot of man. There's the release. He's 1 vertical of 4. You can only see him, but on the other side of the safety, who's right here on the edge of your screen, on the other side of the safety, although you can't see him and Trask looks him off. Let's rewind this again. Look at Trask. Again, look how long Trask is looking here. We already have Zipper 7 yards down the field. Trask is still looking at the safety. This safety cannot move. This safety has a vertical that you can't see coming outside his right shoulder. You can't see it on your screen, but it is there. And now we have this one dropping back into his cover 3 role. His job is to protect this part of the field. So as long as Trask can hold this safety, he's going to get what he wants right here. And there it is. Again, look at the timing. This is important. This is a long throw down the field. Trask by himself created this window. This is a window created by Trask, right? His defender, he's doing his job. You might think, wow, why would he leave that guy wide open? Because this is that split line. This is your neighbor's line. Trask on time, delivers over the underneath defender, puts the ball absolutely in the perfect space right in between these guys' zones. Here it is. And that winds up being really easy for Florida. Again, Trask makes this look so easy because he's so good at doing all the things quarterbacks have to do. He plays at an incredibly high level when it comes to reading zones, throwing the ball on time, ball placement. These are things that we haven't seen in Florida in a long time. We've said on the podcast we think Trask is the best pure passer ever to play at Florida, and it's plays like these that show why. For a guy who's only started less than 20 games, it's remarkable his ability to attack all sorts of types of defense and how he throws the ball consistently on time, right to the right area. Don't sleep on this. Enjoy this for as long as we have it. It could be a very long time before you ever see quarterbacking again like what you've seen this season with Kyle Trask. He is that good. A recurring source of frustration on the pod is that Emory Jones comes in the game far too often when you have a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. Now in this game, we thought we would see Emory more. We said leading into the week that because they want to run a 3-2-6, they're going to leave themselves weak against the run, and Des Moines at any time can counter with 6+1. If you have the running back block, now we're back to the Des Moines 1.0 offense is the way to call it with Tim Tebow, Urban Meyer's original offense, where you're +1 with your quarterback. This wreaked havoc in the mid-2000s. Nowadays, teams know how to stop this to a higher degree, but if you're going to play defense right now like Arkansas is, you're +1, Emory's a plus runner. Come in the game and run the football. Again, I don't like this. I wouldn't do this, but schematically, numbers-wise, this was the game you figured you may have saw that or seen that. Trask did run the ball quite a bit in this game, mainly for the reasons you're seeing here. This, however, is quite perplexing. I guess they thought they were going to catch Arkansas by surprise. We are 2-on-2 here. We've seen before that you can win this battle, but this play is curious. We don't provide any help this time with the linemen. So no help. We don't have these guys coming out here to try to block him. We're just going to go straight 2-on-2. Emory, although he had a favorable look here to simply run this ball using a block from his running back, he doesn't. So we throw a screen to Tony. Tony, again, the player that teams are most keying on, the ones that they're the most ready to stop. If you run this screen to someone else, they're probably not so ready to stop this, but they've obviously spent all week practicing it. He's going to make sure he holds the edge to leave the free tackler to come inside, and then help comes from here. We're going to trap him. And no need because a heroic play is made. A heroic play is made by the corner that Copeland's trying to block, and this play goes nowhere. But again, it wasn't going anywhere anyway. Arkansas was prepared for this. Curious play call, especially to bring Emory in. Surprising to say the least. Don't like it, didn't like it, won't like it in the future. You've got maybe the greatest quarterback ever to play at the University of Florida. We've had a lot of great quarterbacks, especially throwing the ball. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Didn't work here. So right after the Emory play, it's 3rd and 11. 3rd and 11, we're going to fast forward this play. This is the touchdown play to Grimes, and we're going to show you the replay angle that ESPN gives us since this is the All-22 camera. Just shown on TV, of course. So what do we have from Grimes? We're going to post route. And then we're going to have from Tony an out and up route. Now, why does this work really well? Because the defense is going to pay a whole lot of attention to Tony, and these two guys are going to blow their coverage. But let's look at the snap and see what happens here. Don't worry about that circling. That's not me. We have the underneath linebacker sliding here to protect any in-breaking route from Tony. So there's one worried about Tony. Now we have this defender obviously worried about Tony, trying to keep him pushed to the outside. And we have this far corner who is probably playing a cover 3. Hard to tell what Arkansas actually plays here because they blow the coverage so badly. We really don't know who's supposed to be the other dropper. If there was supposed to be another dropper, we don't know this. What we do know is both of them really want to cover Tony because, hey, Tony's Florida's guy. Let's go get him. They're both going to try to cover him, and that is going to leave Grimes running right through on the post. No one is here. Now, important, really important to note, and this is what Trask does so well. This safety is way over here because Trask moved him there. Trask stood in the pocket and stared at him the entire time until right now. He's turning his head, and you can only see a little part of his body, but he's turning his head right now to throw the ball, and it's too late. It's too late now. There's the safety. He already thinks it's going to this post route, or this corner route rather, across the field because Trask was staring at it, but in reality, Trask was always going there. He was always hitting the post. Touchdown. Now, this play looks so simple and it looks wide open, but I want you to look at Trask here. He's going to slide off your screen, but look at him. Before he does, look at his helmet. Look at his eyes. He's staring at this safety. And now I'm going to tell you when he turns his head. He's still looking at him. 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 Still looking at him. Turns his head. So if you're safety and he's looked at you that long, you tell me how you're now all of a sudden going to come over here. You see this route in front of you, and you see the quarterback looking at you. You have got to stay on top of this corner route. And look at Grimes. Look at the timing of this. Again, timing is everything. Grimes is just now ready to have the ball thrown to him, and the ball comes out almost immediately after that. That is precision. That is timing. That is perfection. And that play happens because of Tony. It happens because of Tony. It's a great design. So sometimes you can play, it's like soccer. You go backwards a few yards, you have to go backwards a long way and restart your offense. Dan Mullen makes sure teams pay, in general, when they're keying on someone, he's going to take that concept and use it against you. And so keep in mind for every play that you scratch your head and say, I didn't like that, wasn't great, a good play caller, a good offensive mind will use that to their benefit, and Mullen did that all game long. Here is going to be another play earned by Tony. We're going to motion shorter across the field. We find out that we're in man defense. Man, we're locked up here, here, and here with single high safety. So we could, of course, try to use Tony. We could use Tony on a route. Maybe like, Tony, it's man-to-man time. Let's see what we can do. Or we could make things even simpler. We know that Arkansas likes to bail. Although they're playing man, they like to play off. He could even be bailing in general. Let's just take advantage of matchups they don't want to have. So what do we do instead? We just send Tony out. We just send him out. There he goes, on top of your screen, like a little flare. We're going to drop this defender down because he has to go cover him. We're going to fake this handoff here to bring the linebackers up, and that's going to give us a huge target window to complete this pass right here. There it is. Right in the chest of Xavier Henderson, who's becoming quite the route runner. I think Xavier Henderson has a good future at Florida. Obviously a talented guy, but on film each week his route running gets better and better and better. Had a lot of separation in the game on Saturday, but again, perfect. All this is just perfect execution. Confirm your pre-snap read. Post-snap, Trask already knows he has exactly what he thought he had pre-snap. Linebackers are out of the way. Easy, easy throw, right in the numbers. First down. The very next play is the first flea flicker. ESPN's not going to give us an angle here, but I'm going to give you what happens. We have a route from Xavier Henderson. It's going to do just a little break, a little stutter in here, and then a go. But what really happens is, because Arkansas has to help in the run, as we highlighted in our pregame, this defender right here, as soon as he thinks this ball's handed off, he's going to come help. because that's what you have to do. If you're playing a dime defense all the time, you got to help. Now, in this case, one of the rare circumstances from Arkansas where they actually had 4 down linemen, but regardless, these DBs are really used to helping, especially in the run game. Flea Flicker. Now, you can't see this here. Flea Flicker right about now. He's going to make a little stutter move here. He's going to go off your screen. You're going to lose him. And at this point, the corner for Arkansas is looking into the backfield, thinking he's got to come help and run support. Even though this ball hits the ground, Trask picks it up, still makes the throw. The reason this works is that corner ate that fake like a cookie. And despite the ball bouncing on the ground and everything else, he's still 4 to 5 yards behind him, even though Trask could only get about 42 yards of velocity on that throw in time. He was really beat by about 8 yards if we didn't drop that exchange. As it stands, we still get a nice catch at completion. Would have been a touchdown. And that's just, again, that's tough. If you're playing dime like Arkansas does, you have to help in run support. Flea Flicker was really a great design by Dan to recognize that, hey, they have to have their perimeter defenders help stop the run. If we can sell a really good Flea Flicker, we're going to run by him sometimes. So excellent play design, excellent work. Unfortunately, I can't show you the move, but trust me, wide open. If you were there in person, obviously you saw it as well. But great design, great timing, and nice salvaging of the play despite the poor toss back to Trask. We've been giving a lot of love to Shorter on the podcast because he's been doing so many little things so well, which is really what you want to see, especially with a 5-star guy that's had kind of a rocky start to his career. But he does all the little things, whether it's on special teams or it's blocking, and Florida's been rewarding him. We're going to see another touchdown play created by, of course, one Kadarius Toney. And not surprisingly, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to have Toney come down here like he's been doing and set up this screen, which is going to draw the attention of Arkansas's defenders, as it has every single time. We got to sell out on this. Again, everyone's ready. He's ready, right? We're coming. We got to stop Toney from getting this ball. Trask up here. He's going to pump fake this. He wants this action. He needs to get this safety to come downhill. If the safety does not come downhill, it's not going to work. Now, you're not going to see this off your screen, but the route combination that we have is we have Xavier Henderson, who's going to just run a little bit of an in route here, and right around him is going to be a wheel, essentially an outside go or a wheel from Shorter. And Henderson kind of sets a little screen. There's a little pick. So if you can imagine it being on this part of the field, Henderson runs here. Shorter runs right behind his rear. It's an excellent rub route design, something we obviously have loved watching Dan do this year. Have talked about it, hoped for it. Dan 2.0 alive and well. These camera angles are terrible. Although the safety does, in fact, get there, the reason that he kind of gets lost, and you can't see him, but right now he's actually looking back for the ball. He gets lost underneath it, is because he was down here hard, had to then U-turn to recover, so he's full sprinting and not looking. So Trask sees him right here, and Trask sees that Shorter's over here, and he knows that essentially he's got to put a ball up there, but this is a safe pass. Because this safety, it cannot look at the ball. His head is turned. A player that's not looking is not a defender anymore. He's just a cone, and you've got to give your guy a chance to make a catch. The Arkansas defender winds up putting himself in excellent position. And this is a great play by him to recover and make this as hard as possible. And as we can see, Shorter makes an absolutely phenomenal catch. This is a great play design. All of this, again, created because of Toney. Kadarius Toney is getting assists on all of these plays. Every single one. We highlighted Catalan is an excellent safety. They're not just abusing a guy who doesn't know what he's doing. This is absolutely fantastic. Toney with the assist. What a high point. What a catch here from Shorter. Big body possession receiver. This look here is perhaps the best one. Just perfection. And what a ball by Trask. Again, Trask is throwing this. Look where Trask is right now. He's at the far hash mark. You know, we continue to field comments about his arm strength. He's at the far hash mark, and look at this ball placement. Again, this is a great recovery here from Arkansas. I mean, that is ridiculous. That is an NFL throw and then some. What a play by Florida. You just have to enjoy these. Again, every single one you get, you got to enjoy that. Great play, great design, all coming off of Toney just simply running a basic little pop route or little screen play that's really pulling the defense in and allowing Florida to create space, and Florida punishing Arkansas for that. This is going to be a look at Florida's touchdown on the replay camera from ESPN. Dan Orlovsky was doing the game, got this call wrong. We're not calling Dan out. We're just saying if you heard it on the game, something that happened here is not actually what happened. So what Florida's going to do is they're not going to run a corner. Copeland is not running a corner route, and we're going to show you what he's actually running. Dan draws him joining a corner. He's not running a corner. We're going to have an out route here from Gamble. We have a go route looking over our inside shoulder, so we're looking over this part of the field into the seam. That's what we have, and we're going to watch how this play unfolds, which is not, again, how Dan's drawing it. There it is. There's our out route from Gamble. Cover three, which you're seeing here from Arkansas. And because of this out route, you're going to watch this corner here turn his hips and look at the out. Why? Because the out is over the underneath defender. There is space here, right? But he's got to stay with the deepest man. His job is to stay with the deepest man. He's now stuck in conflict. Why? Because we are beautifully 2-on-1ing a safety, something we have just talked about and loved for years in the pod. We're thrilled. I'm thrilled we're doing this stuff this year. This is absolutely a textbook maneuver for it. Now, Trask is off the screen. You can't see him, but he's right there. He's going to become important in a second. But for now, watch what happens on this play. So I want you to focus here. Focus in on Cope. We're going to zoom in on Copeland and look at which way he turns. Now, again, are we going to get into the weeds here? Yeah, we are, because this is important. Notice this. See which way he's facing? He's facing this way. He's running a seam go, right? Here's your safety, who's now going to cut this kind of pass off. Here is your cover three corner, who's now sagged on your out route. All right, keep that in mind. That's really important. If he's running a corner route, he's not doing this. He's going this way, but he's not doing that. Now, why does this matter? Because this play is ad-libbed by Trask. This play is ad-libbed by Trask. Let me zoom ourselves back out. We're gonna prove this concept to you, but for now, here we go. He's turned inside. He's inside. Come on. Let's get to the point we want. There it is. Now, on your screen, right here, you're going to see Trask's arm. I want you to just focus on this. We're going to get a better look at this in a second, I promise. But for now, let's just zoom in here and take a look at what we can see. There he is. All right, let's look. Let's watch this. There. Okay, see this? Do you see this? Look, see that? That is Trask telling Copeland to go to the corner. Go to the corner. Why? Because Trask sees that there's a defender sagging, and of course you can't see Zipper on your screen right now, or Gamble, sorry. You can't see Gamble on your screen, but he's just above the circle. And he now knows everything we just saw earlier has happened. So he's telling Copeland, go to the corner. I'm going to throw you to the corner. I'm going to throw you to grass because there's open grass there. Again, this is very high-level quarterbacking. This is very important. It's going to engineer a touchdown for us on a play that wasn't going to be a touchdown. He could have taken that out route as the underneath out route. He could have taken that. But instead, we're going to get something better. There it is. And there's the pass. So one more time, let's look at him. There's Trask. He's pointing. Take a look. Point, look, point, point, point. Then Copeland turns as he points. Again, here we are. Look, no point. He's still inside. He points. Okay, Copeland says, I get it. I know what you want from me. I'm going to go that way. And then ball comes out over the corner, who came down, away from the safety, who is covering the go route. The go route's not there. Into the spot where only Copeland can catch it. Again, this is not the designed play. This is ad-libbed. First of all, good job protecting Trask. If we can protect Trask, you can have more plays like these. Second of all, great job from Trask. Although the play, again, is a go, where this safety that you can't see is actually going to cover it, and Trask does have the out route. He can easily make this throw. He knows he's got a bigger play. Because he has time, he takes the bigger play. This defender is gone. He can't cover anyone anymore. Copeland turns around on command. Touchdown. That is absolutely beautiful stuff from Florida. And here is the look to confirm it. In case you thought I was just making it up, let's watch Trask here. Slide out. There he is. And whoop, look at that. Look at him. He's pointing. One more time. Pointing. Go. Ready? Go to the corner. And go to the corner. There he goes. Touchdown. Great stuff. Great stuff from Florida. Absolutely fantastic. Great stuff from Trask. Again, enjoy these plays for as long as we have them. We thought we would see Trask run the ball quite a bit in this game. This seemed like one of the most curious play calls of the game, and we did it. It's 28-14, second quarter, 2nd and 10. So still early enough in the game where you may justify running Trask. The game obviously is anything but over. And this play is going to wind up being a dud. Or at least it looks like it's going to be a dud. Okay, here we go. This doesn't look so good. We've got Garage down on his face, and Trask gains, a yard. However, as we said leading into this, look at the numbers here. 5 versus 5, but if our quarterback runs, it's 6 on 5. And since we're spread out 5 wide and they're way off the ball, this could be an easy 10 or 15 yards. In fact, we saw Joe Burrow do this at LSU quite a bit last year. Of course, Kyle Trask is not Joe Burrow, but he's certainly fast enough if he has the entire field to get a first down. So what happens here? Well, what happens is Garage gets sniped right there. You can see it. This is the point of sniping. Sniper. And then Garage goes down. Whoop! There he goes. He goes down. Now, if Garage doesn't go down, Garage blocks right here, and there's a huge hole. Take a look. Take a look what's going to happen here. Garage now, imagine he's blocking this guy, and now we're going to have Delance blocking this guy, and look at that. All of a sudden, this play looks pretty good, actually. This play probably goes for a first down. As it turns out, play goes for nothing. And that's why football is kind of such a great, really team sport, is even if one guy accidentally trips as he's pulling across the formation here, the whole play is dead, especially with Trask running it, right? He's going to need that window. The play call itself, not a bad play call. So again, look at film, because on film, it's going to tell you the truth. This is a good play call. Do I want to run Trask a lot? No, I don't, really, as minimally as possible. But as far as getting 10 to 12 yards on a play, it's a football team. You got to put your team first. I think you balance. Again, you really have to balance running Trask for obvious reasons. If it's me, would I run him against Arkansas? Probably don't need to. But regardless, the play call itself, as far as gaining yards, forget about managing Trask's health, just gaining yards schematically. It's a good play. It's a good design. It's a good blocking plan. It's going to wind up being a first down. Instead, it's going to put Florida in 3rd and long. But if you saw the play and you wonder what the heck are we doing, schematically, there's a good reason for it. And that's the point of really these film breakdowns. Is let's look at what actually happened, and is it defensible? Was it a good idea or a bad idea? And you can see here that this was in fact a good idea and was going to be a first down. Let's look at the touchdown by Zipperer. This was a fantastic pass by Trask. We've mentioned a lot that he throws the ball on time, he throws the ball to space, and he handles teams that blitz him so well. Stands in the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, and he can throw the ball at a variety of different times. He's going to throw this ball way too early. Here's Delance, who's going to wind up getting beat. Also, compounding problems is we've got a good blitz here by Arkansas. We talked about them double gap blitzing. They do it to us right there. This is not Delance's fault. Although he gets beat here, he couldn't possibly stop that one. This is a good play call by Arkansas, so we're not going to harp on him too much here. Trask also knows that he's likely to get pressure here if Arkansas blitzes. This is not a surprise on this play, but Trask does what Trask does just so well. He stands here. He's going to wait. He sees this, and he knows that he has space in the corner of the end zone. But clearly right now, Zipperer is not open. Zipperer is not even looking, right? He's looking where the recruits normally sit. He has no idea what's happening. Trask then, under duress, backs up some, creates just enough space. And look at this. Look where he's throwing. All of his momentum is fading backwards. He's jumping backwards to make this throw. When you're blitzed at times, you've got to throw from a wide variety of platforms. He gets this throw out, and not only does he get it out, look at where this pass goes. Just watch it slowly fluttering on your screen, and look at the placement. Again, look at the placement here. Just pause this for a second here. Does he look open to you? Not really, right? But again, a defender with their head turned is not a defender at all. They're a cone. So all Zipperer's got to do is run past a cone, which he does. Now, much to our surprise, what? How is this ball still up in the air? It's still floating, and not only is it still floating, look at where this hits Zipperer. Again, one more time. Look at this. Zipperer turns, locates the ball, and a little push off, and hits him right there. That is a phenomenal pass. Again, one more time. Look at, right now he throws it. Look at where Zipperer is on your screen. Look at this. Look at where the ball winds up. Look at where the pass is. That is some high-level stuff. I imagine Arkansas's defensive unit and Odom were just on the sideline thinking, look, there is really nothing you can do. That's great coverage. It's a great blitz. We gave him no time. If you're completing passes like that, you just tip your cap to the offense and say, hey, great job. That's a great play. Although I don't love it because I just don't love watching football where there's quarterbacks that run. A large feature, a staple feature of Dan Mullen's offense, and one that's been minimalized, obviously, with Trask, which I am sure will come right back to the forefront after Trask, is the quarterback run. As we've already said, you can do this very successfully on an undersized team like Arkansas. Arkansas, when Emory is in, is going to load the box up more here. They're going to have 7 defenders plus an 8th right here. Florida is going to counter by having 2, 4, 6, 7 of their own. So that's 7 on 7. And again, if you're playing Dan Mullen or Urban Meyer 1.0 football, you like hat-on-hat football. You feel good about that because your quarterback's an athlete. And if your quarterback's an athlete, he's a running back with hat-on-hat football. A lot of things you can do. Also because the defense has to hold because he could throw. And that's what you see happen here. Again, although it's hat-on-hat, they don't know which way we're running. They are loaded up on this side. That's going to leave us free releasing into the formation here. And we can leave whichever one of these guys free that we choose. They don't know who it's going to be. In this case, we're going to leave the safety free, which is typical. Create an alleyway for Emory. Emory's obviously quick enough to get to the safety and maximize this gain. And again, it's an easy 8 yards, right? Safe, effective, easy, repeatable. Of course, the problem with offenses like these and plays like these is they tend not to work as you play against the bigger, stronger, better fronts and the better defenses. Is one reason why in the NFL you don't see a ton of people doing quarterback keepers like these. Of course, you can from time to time, but this becomes more difficult. But in a team like Arkansas, this is effective. And that's one reason why we thought you might see Emory in this game more doing this in the red zone. On the next play here, he does in fact score a touchdown. Early fourth quarter, another excellent play design by Dan Mullen. Who do we have down here? We have Tony. And where's the safety? Well, he's naturally going to shade Tony's side. And what's our DB doing? Well, he's going to show maintaining outside leverage. I'm going to make sure that Tony goes inside of me. I'm going to funnel into the safety, right? So this is great. Again, great design by Dan Mullen. So let's go ahead and amp up what happens here. Let's move Naquan out and see what they do. Okay, they move out with him. Move out with him. So now 1, 2 versus 1, 2 and a linebacker. Looks like they're in a zone in this case. Why are they in a zone? Because if the linebacker goes from here to here and a linebacker doesn't follow him, running back comes from here, goes here, linebacker does not follow him, they are almost certainly in a zone. This will become very important. Trask will take the snap. He will look immediately right here. Then he will do something very important. He will snap his head to where he always snaps his head, to the safety. What is the safety looking at? Now notice on this particular play, the safety is actually not even looking at Trask. Why? Because they're bracketing. In this case, Tony was the idea. Florida one-ups them. They're going to send Tony out, so they're just going to get him out of the way. Shorter's going to run this slant, but the idea here was we need to bracket Tony. So his head, you can't see the safety. He's here, but his head is looking this way. That's what matters. So now Trask knows he has zone, and if he has zone, he knows the linebacker is going to be your underneath defender. He knows the deepest defender here is going to basically split the receivers. Here's a receiver and a receiver, right? He's going to split them in between and try to choose whichever one seems the most threatening. And the outside corner could either squat or bail. But regardless, all he has to do is move that safety with his eyes over here and then essentially make sure he's out of the way. Now he knows exactly what you've seen, right? We've got this guy splitting the difference here. Now we have this corner bailing. Now he could hit Naquan. Naquan's a safe check down the way they've chosen to cover this. But no matter what, as long as that safety over here is cleared out and this safety is this far away, he knows he has this window to throw the football. Right now he knows this is a touchdown. Too easy. There it is. Again, excellent play design. A lot of this still built off the deception of Tony here, the attention it draws from the safety, moving Naquan out to know we're in zone, knowing that we're in zone. This is the high man, probably functioning as the safety. He's going to split the two. He's going to make sure he stays right in between here, keep him over there, hit the ball right here on the S. All of these things are being taken into account pre-snap by Trask. He knows where he wants to go, puts a perfect pass in there. Again, don't sleep on this either, right? This is your underneath defender. You're making these windows hard, right over his head, right into the window. Another touchdown for Florida. Just a stellar, stellar day throwing the football from Kyle Trask. Emory Jones now in the game as a quarterback. Let's take a look at 4 or 5 plays from him to see how well he performed. Shorter's going to motion across the formation so we can pick up some information. We're going to see the safety come down, then get replaced. Safety come down, get replaced. This does not mean they're in man. They could still be in any defense they want. This is just an easier pass off. And with Emory at quarterback, probably the biggest thing to note here is they're now going to play nickel. So they brought another defender in on the line of scrimmage, which of course makes sense. This tells you that they are going to wind up tilting. They're going to tilt their defense, not surprisingly, towards stopping the run and allow Emory to attempt to throw. Hey, we don't think you can throw. We're going to prove that you can throw. So right off the bat, on the second play, Dan Mullen is going to do just that with Emory. We're going to have a very easy, again, handoff here. That's going to suck the linebackers up. It's a very real threat when you have Emory in to run. They're going to play more aggressive against the run. But here's something you're going to notice. We've talked a lot about this with Trask. It's the little things. So much like Frank staring at one guy, Emory is going to immediately look at who he wants to throw the ball here. Throw the ball to here. Now, this is not what you want to do for a lot of reasons. One, you have no idea what's going on across the field. Two, most importantly, Arkansas is almost always playing cover 3 or a single high safety somewhere, right? So even if you pre-snap read and know you like your right side matchup, you've got to move this safety. Now, you can't see him yet, but he's here, right? So if it's Trask and Trask likes this route, Trask would take his head, look at the safety, and look here. And look here long enough to where he'd then snap his head over, knowing for sure he's got a bailing corner, and he'd throw this confidently. Now, that takes time. I don't expect Emory to be Kyle Trask. In fact, next year, if Trask is gone, the offense is going to look very different under Emory, much to my chagrin, because, of course, I prefer a wide-open passing offense. So this is just something Emory's going to have to learn no matter how much he passes, and this will come with time and experience. But again, a lot of quarterbacks never get this, and that's why we're bringing it up. This is really, really important. You've got to move the safety with your eyes. You have to convince him with your eyes. This particular occasion, he does not, and that is why Shorter gets absolutely creamed. Again, Emory is just staring at him. Of course, he's open. Here comes Arkansas's excellent safety. The only reason he has this much steam and this much power is because Emory never looked anywhere else. So he was able to come from his safety spot off the screen, full sprint to this route, which is what he's doing, and then absolutely crush Shorter, who makes a great catch on a not a great ball, leaving your receiver hung out to dry. He's cranked. That's not going to feel good. Hopefully Emory let Shorter know he still loved him after the game, and hey, I'm sorry, man, my bad. Now, what should happen on this play, and you can't see it on the bottom of your screen, Florida's a receiver here, and they have Xavier Henderson here. There's a corner way off that's already facing the field, indicating that he's going to bail for sure into cover 3. Emory really should have looked over here, and Florida, in fact, had a wide open route right here with Xavier for a completely easy throw. He never looks to the left side of the field. He's looking short side, shorter throw, safer throw, but this is the throw you want here. Pre-snap read, take a look at that. This throw also okay, but you got to keep your eyes over here. Move the safety, get him out of the way, then this bailing corner becomes inconsequential. But if you don't do it, that's the point of a safety. That's why safety play is good, and you can see immediately without Trask in there, Arkansas's excellent safety makes a big play here, blowing up Shorter. There it is. The reason Dan Mullen likes a running quarterback so much is because you're going to really mess with the linebackers. They're going to have to really respect the run at all times. You're going to watch this happen on this play. Pretty much everyone collapses here on the play fake. Not even really a great play fake, but they're all really worried about the run. Again, Emory's in, he's a runner. Let him throw, prove that he can throw. Right away, we have an open receiver. Emory's got the ball. We have an open receiver on this route here. At the bottom of the screen, although you can't see it, we're also going to have something very similar to what we had last time, where we have a wide open receiver at the bottom of the screen because Arkansas is bailing into a cover 3. So that's at the bottom. At the top, we also have open receivers. Emory confuses himself and or forgets the route combination. With Shorter's consistency at this point in time, I would imagine he runs the right route here. He's going to run an out and up. There's a cover 3 safety that's going to be waiting for this. The person this ball should go to here is Gamble. But again, he's just going to stare at it. And you can see, how do you know the quarterbacks are staring at routes? When the zone defenders are coming downhill at the ball. That's how you know he's coming downhill. Not a good pass. If it's a better pass, possible that he gets there to pick the play up. Who knows what's going to happen here. But again, this is confusion. I think Emory thinks this is going to be a little out route. And he thinks, I've got this ball right here. I have this. And then he recognizes, he turns up, thinks, uh-oh. Tries to kind of fit it in there. Either way, not a good throw, not a confident throw. What you want to see from Emory, once again, this has got to be really quick. Snap the ball out of the belly. Right now, this is your guy, right? Look at the window. Look at your picture. Look at your picture. You have a sitting cover 3 corner. This out and up is not going to work. However, this route is going to work. Throw it right now. Pull the ball out. Stick it in there. You've got everything you want. Take your yardage. Get out. He doesn't make an indecisive throw. Again, we're not dogging Emory here, right? The point of film study is to do analysis. We have no favorites outside of Chester Kimbrough, but no favorites or disfavorites, so to speak. We just look at what's there and say, hey, how can anyone improve, right? What can we do to make these things better? So always keep that in mind. Never picking on anyone on these film studies, just saying, hey, if you're looking at film, you're watching the film, what can I do to make myself better? Let's look at these things and improve my play. That's the goal of any player, whether you're a professional, whether you're Tom Brady, or whether you're a freshman at the University of Florida. It's the name of the game for all athletes. Look at your plays, look at your film, get better, improve. Here's a nice window throw from Emory. Nice window throw. Florida goes empty set. We have 5 wide. He's going to quickly look here. Again, this should be longer, you're going to see the safety who comes off your screen get here. This should be longer. He's got to hold this a little bit longer to create a bigger window for himself. He's just too quick snapping his head around. He's telegraphing where he wants to go. He snaps too early. Again, this is too early. He should still be looking here. He's not ready for this yet. Notice how receiver has not begun to make a break yet. But regardless from, he's going to make a nice pass here. The pass is on time, but he could have used that extra time to look still up at the top of the field. Puts a nice pass in here into a tight window. Again, safety does have speed, right? This is the problem with not moving people, is the safety gets a good read on you. He's coming downhill to make a big hit. I can assure you that if this game was more contested and it was not 56-28, he's coming in a lot harder, right? He's coming in a lot harder. Regardless, nice pass by Emory. Good accuracy, good spot, nice catch, good first down. Something on film for him to look at and say, hey, what can I do better, again, to keep that safety out of my window, to move the linebacker, to make that throw easier for me and safer for my receiver. On this play, Emory is going to miss. He's going to miss seeing a wide open Naquan over here. He's actually going to clap for the football, and that's because Emory's going to take the snap. He's going to immediately just, again, kind of a quick habit of his. He knows he should be looking the opposite way he wants to go, but look how quick his head turns. He looked over there for like half a second. Nothing is happening over here yet. You're not going to sell this to anyone. Now you're looking where you want to go, and everyone knows it, right? So now they're going to lock in. If you're playing defense, you're thinking he's definitely coming to this side. I'm going to lock in. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Now at this point in time, if you don't like it, and it's been this long, you go to your check down. It's check down time. I don't like it. Go to my check down. Most importantly, he could have liked all of this from the start. Let's rewind. Let's look here. Again, they like to play a lot of cover 3 and a lot of cover 4. You can't see on the bottom of your screen, but the bottom corner is doing the same thing this one is. They're telegraphing to you they're going to wind up bailing, which he is in fact bailing. So Emory's going to have a lot of options on this play. All right, so for one, look at this. Wide open hitch route. This is as easy as it can be. Also wide open in the flat. Both of these guys wide open. But we learned something. We learned something. This actually is not a hitch route. In fact, this is a hitch and go. So that's not going to be there. So let's rewind this again. Why it's good to watch as a fan. Here we go. Good to watch this again. You think you got a hitch route. Not a hitch route. It's a hitch and go. All right, so now let me show you the snap one more time. Are we overkilling this? Yes, we are. We got hitch and go, which we know. So pre-snap alignment, I don't love that hitch and go. This is not good. Arkansas bails a lot. If I'm Emory, I'm thinking, I don't love that, right? Not a great pre-snap look for that, which is one of the reasons why he's not going to check that right away. He's going to look over here, see what he's got over here. I can't show you the routes. They're on the bottom of the screen. I won't even draw them for you because what matters here is the check down. So once you've gotten to this point, if you've looked left, and this is part of training a running quarterback, look at your check down. Now, you're an athlete. No doubt you're an athlete. But look at the check down. The check down wants the ball. He's hungry for the ball. He's going to clap for the ball. Look, I'm ready. I'm wide open. Look at this. Dream of this, right? Get the ball to your playmakers. But if you're a quarterback and you're a playmaker, sometimes you cannot be a distributor. And of course, Emory here is going to take off and get a first down. No one's dogging that. That's perfectly fine and fantastic. But again, if you want to play quarterback, you want to survive the entire year, you have to play quarterback. And that means you've got to be a distributor. And I'm not dogging him. He hasn't gotten a lot of reps, right? But keep in mind, if I'm showing Emory the film this week, I'm saying, look, Emory, I think you got great wheels and you can move. But really, when you get something like this, 100 times out of 100, you want to put the ball here. You never want to run the ball unless you have to run the ball. You've got to preserve yourself, you've got to save yourself, you've got to manage yourself, and you've got to teach yourself to be a distributor. Less playmaker, more distributor. That's the key to good quarterbacking. So a good play here to illustrate to Emory. Get off your reads, you don't like it. You get one hitch, maybe 2 hitches at maximum. You don't like that, come off that, check your check down. If your check down's not there, take off. All right, last play of the film study. Was this film study too long? Probably, but tons of things happened, so we covered them. As always, send us feedback if it's too long, too short, whatever. We will oblige you. So far, people have wanted longer, so we've done longer. Maybe next week we'll do 10 minutes, who knows? Let us know and we'll do it. So Emory's going to wind up throwing a touchdown pass here. It's going to be a very accurate throw and a good throw. Something we mentioned before and we won't belabor is he's not going to move the safety, which is going to make this throw, again, much more risky than it has to be. So he's going to do a look. Again, he's going to look. We're going to see from the other angle, which they give us. He's looking. He's looking at the safety. He's trying to clear a window for this throw. He's not going to clear one, but he's going to make a great throw. And look at that. That just slides right. And that is a perfect ball by Emory. Excellent, excellent ball. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is in the window, right? Great throw. Excellent pass. Really nice ball. Good pace, good timing, good location. Everything about that is great. And again, for me, theme of the week coaching Emory has got to be, look, you can make this throw much easier for yourself if we can do our job and move this. You've got to sell him here. He needs to move 2 to 3 steps here. You got to sell him on this. Take a look at what happens. He doesn't move. Look, he has not changed his position at all. Look at him. Look. He's in that box, right? He's in the box. And again, Emory's head is not over here. It's here, right? But it should be here. You got to move him. Get your head over here and move him. Now, why doesn't Emory want to do that? It's uncomfortable to look away and then look over here to where you want to throw the football. It's more comfortable to do a little mini glance, but a good safety is not falling for your mini glance. Again, look, he doesn't even move. Now, aha, I know this guy, he says. I've got a read on him. As soon as he looks to his second spot, that's where he's going. That's where I'm going. I'm going to make a play on this ball. And there he goes. Boom, look at him immediately. Sees it? I'm going. Emory has not thrown the ball yet. He is going. This is excellent safety play. Fortunately for Emory, he makes an absolutely perfect throw. Again, look at that pass. That is an absolutely great pass. But if we're looking for improvement, we're saying, hey, you don't have to make a great pass here, right? This pass can become a routine pass if we can get the safety to move 3 feet over, right? 3 feet over. So great pass, great touchdown. Celebrate that for sure. Excellent ball. And if you can throw balls that well and that accurately, you can really make things happen if we can get you to commit to moving the safety. So all in all, amazing day for Florida's offense. A joyous day. Cherish this. It is, I think, the best Florida passing offense ever. A lot of season left, though. A lot of things could happen, but obviously super enjoyable, really fun to break down. So many good things going on. It's hard not to do almost every play because so many good things are happening on this side of the football. So again, as always, if you like the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel, send us your feedback, check us out on social media, drop us a dono on Patreon. And until next time, I'm James from the Gator Nation Football Podcast.